Hello, we are live on YouTube and welcome. It's Friday night, it is 8 o'clock and it's time for Transform the Show. There's a picture of Jeremy Clarkson when he used to be a lesbian many moons ago. Let's do the show. Woo! Welcome to Friday night's Transformers show. Good to have you all on board. Thanks for coming back, Alexis. Alexis was in the toilet for the last half an hour. People's finished. People's finished. Back now. Good. We can do the show. Right. On tonight's show, we've got it's a 1986, which Transformers the film came out in special, and it's episode 86, Synergy. And we've got a discussion at the end all about that. We've got pickups, Rohans Corner. I've got a killer Arrowfire style Fanstoys Innuendo, and a whole lot more. But first of all, let's start off with the news.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Cool.
Is that the news?
That's the only thing I've got streamed.
Try again.
Lined anything else to stream?
Try again.
Oh, you haven't picked up yet. Oh, right.
Oh, it was there. I just hadn't. I was trying not to jump the gun. You're too keen. Once again, Paul. Too quick.
Is it in?
Hollow
Is it in yet? Is it in yet?
Anyway.
Exactly.
You're obsessed, Paul. Anyway, so one of the things that just came out of nowhere was this deluxe class Nest Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movies and from Studio Series, which absolutely nobody asked for, but there it is. So it's a Nest coloured version of a figure we already have, isn't it?
What does the Nest stand for?
It's the name of the human kind of military faction from the Transformers live-action films, and I cannot remember what it stands for now. Somebody in the chat tell us what NEST stands for.
Neutral East
National
Soldiers. I don't know.
Oh no, is it not? Is it non-biological? No, not non-biological. Because in the first movie they called Megatron NBA or something, didn't they?
Sexy Transformers.
MB1.
MB1, that's it. Nice extra Santa today. Well done, Brad. It's still the best we've had, though. Anyway, there he is.
Extraterrestrial sexy Transformers.
That's
there
it.
we go.
Yeah.
It comes with a Sam figurine, which many people have criticised, but I don't think it looks too bad.
It's got an offer here.
I don't know why it comes with a Sam though, because it's Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie, and Sam wasn't in that, so it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense.
Yeah, not with that.
No one's Nest though.
I'm a purist. What do you expect?
Looks like a Slenderman version with no eyes and face.
I know that face will haunt you.
Weird.
Look, it's got no mouth. Oh my god! Like it would point and just make some strange screaming noise. There's the box.
That's the
packaging.
box.
Everybody likes the box. Especially Paul, he does like a bit of box porn.
In the box.
I'm a box pervert.
And then the other thing which we knew I think was coming was Road Rage, which is the red repaint of Trax, which is a female robot, I believe.
Female robot, yeah.
Which some people have claimed has actually been found in a Smith store here in the UK, although there's been some doubt cast on whether that's actually factually correct. Nobody else seems to have found one yet. But anyway, they have released, not long after that, I think it was like within 24 hours, they released some official images of the figure. So here we are. So again, the box there, just for you, Paul.
That's the box.
So this is, of course, just a recolor, really. I think. I don't think it's a different head sculpt, is it? A recolor of the already existing Kingdom tracks, which we will, I'm sure, talk about a little bit
It
later
looks
on.
like a slightly different head sculpt.
You think?
Yeah, just slightly. Just, because you can see the sort of detail better in the blue, so maybe that's what gives it the appearance, but it's definitely got a different shape to it rather than the white, which the helmet tends to be much smoother in tracks, but because it's white, it tends to blend in.
Yeah, it might be slightly different. I'm just looking now, and it might be
Yeah.
slightly different, actually. To me, it looks slightly octane-y, but anyway. There you go, and there's what he comes with. So same gun and
She
the
comes up
cannons.
Miss now.
She.
Yeah.
It, whatever we're gonna, it's a toy. Oh, it's look at those eyes.
Hopes and dreams.
Those eyes stare into your soul. So it looks nice
gonna
enough.
be- It's just give me another wanky tracks.
I thought
It does look similar, doesn't it? Very similar.
I think the risk is, as
Trax does that as well.
before the show, the risk is that this figure is going to have exactly the same faults that the Kingdom Trax has, which
By being
isn't
pish.
not good. Yeah, it's what we call a thoroughly ape-face figure.
Is it
Straight
possible?
back in the box and out the door.
It's beautiful, but if you touch it, it just all starts to fall apart.
Yeah.
It's like my ego. Right, on we go.
Then we had this. Now, this is the Authentics version, certainly of Optimus Prime, and I'm assuming it's the Authentics version of Megatron that are coming out in a box set that, again, nobody asked for. But as was correctly pointed out in some of the chat groups, it may not be for all of us necessarily as adult collectors, but, kids, my kids have that Optimus Prime, and they like it. And I think it's not a bad figure. It's not masterpiece style or anything like that, but it does the job. Quick and easy to transform, and sometimes that's what the kids want, isn't it?
Megatron rocks that alt mode, though.
Yeah, I'm just these bits on the side are a bit unfortunate.
Big foot.
Oh, look, Paul. Visible hand syndrome.
Flipping heck. Hasbro.
So you won't be picking that up. So the other thing that was announced, so this is courtesy of TFW 2005. This is coming from Amazon, this pack. But there's also going to be a Transformers Cyber Battalion Heroic 2-pack, which is, but it looks like going to have Bumblebee in, but we don't actually know anything else, and there's been no pictures released yet. So I'm guessing it's Bumblebee and another character. If it's a heroic set, another Autobot maybe. But we'll see. 2 Bumblebees maybe, but it seems a bit excessive.
Where does it say Bumblebee?
Down here. There are no images or product description at the moment, but the price and title indicate it's a Bumblebee-themed 2-pack.
I was looking at the other one.
Yes, it is hard to read all that writing, but it is there.
Not,
it is there.
Not a Bumblebee-themed rap artist.
What?
Do we have a tumbleweed? Anyway, then we also have... Perfect. We also had some more official images of the Haslab.
That's a nice joke.
I almost said, shut up. I almost said Haslab Unicron. Haslab Star Saber and Victory Leo. And a lot of people have been getting very excited. Those of us who've backed this, I think it's at about halfway point, isn't it?
I just wonder when the negative comments will start to come in, like, oh, it costs too much, there's not enough plastic, So far it's all been mostly positive, but where are the dire people who are walking black holes of depression who try to suck everyone else in?
Oh, they'll be coming.
Are you asking for some honest feedback there, Joe, about this?
I mean, it looks great, but I still can't get over the Jamiroquai hat. On the side. It just every time I look at it, that's my first thought.
It's cowboy.
These photos look better for me, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It's starting to. You're starting to see it all come together, and then you've got the Brainmaster there in the chest. Because when I first looked at that, I thought, why is there a big hole? And it's of course I've opened it up for the Brainmaster to go in. Looking very good. I'm glad I've
next comment. I'm positive.
It's interesting there how Victory Leo is actually a lot smaller than Saber. They're meant to be like the same size. So, spoiler alert, Victory Leo is actually what happened to Pan Master Prime. He got converted into that form when he went nuts. And he still goes nuts like that, but when he merges with Star Saber, he sort of becomes a bit more...
Is that Ginrai from the...
Yeah.
Or is it Jinrai? How do you pronounce it as Ginrai or Jinrai? I always
Jinrai?
used to call it Jinrai, but then I had somebody on-
Gin sounds nice to me. I don't know why. Gin.
just like the thought of gin.
Why not?
And there's the view from the back. Visible screw syndrome. I'm going to forgive him. I think it looks really good. I am very excited. And then other people have been making the point that apparently they haven't released this for the pre-orders in Japan yet, and the Asian market. So when they do, they're expecting it to go through the roof because, of course, of the popularity of them over there. But we shall see. Looking very nice, and I am looking forward to this this set once it is eventually made. And this was the other fairly big news, I suppose, which was Kingdom Slammer, another bot to go with your Generations Metroplex if you have him. And there he is, which, yeah. Is anybody excited? I mean, I know it's not the best photo of the figure, but, you know, anybody
It
excited?
looks like he's escaped by falling off a tall building, hasn't he? And then he's just lying there. Someone's taking a photograph of his corpse.
To
What a
me,
jolly thought from the non-Power Scotsman.
if you zoom
How
out,
big is that?
he looks like
Oh,
me when someone's talking to me and they've been talking for ages. I need a wee, and my legs are getting closer together.
I thought you were referring to the fact that he's laid down and almost comatose, and it's like you when you go to get cheese towards the end of an evening and then never reappear.
I need cheese.
What was the excuse last week? Oh, I went off and I fell asleep. Just fell asleep, standing up against the bar.
Is no one else disappointed that they didn't use Warpath's mold rather than Brunt's?
I'm happy they didn't use the Warpath mode. Well, it would
Why?
have been too easy.
Yeah,
I think they want it to be. It's going to be another weaponizer type thing, isn't it?
this
So
is the Omega
that's
Supreme
Oh,
mold
yeah.
they've used. They've really challenged themselves.
And that is the mainline news that's worth knowing. So we'll go on to a little bit. He says in a second. We'll go on to a little bit of third-party news.
Yeah, you do that. I'll have a beer.
You've earned that beer, Mr. Farrelly. You drink that beer and you enjoy
Oh,
it.
thank you. I've worked hard this week, as I'm sure we
Just the
all have.
one. Just the one though.
Yeah, just the one. Don't overdo it. We don't want you disappearing off the cheese and not coming back.
We don't want the same what happened last week after the show. We don't need to see that.
That sounds
again.
a bit dodgy.
What did I do last
We
week?
don't want to repeat that.
That's a
We
high.
don't, we don't, your therapist. asked
Anytime
us
you're
not
ready to
bring it up.
share, by the way, Paul. Anytime
Oh
you're ready
shit!
to
Sorry,
share.
I'm still getting my beer.
People do think it could make a good Iron Fist mold, though. So that's
Yes,
interesting.
I saw that Iron Fist. In fact, somebody did. I'm sure somebody did a digibash of it as Iron Fist as well. So
What from the
I
Marvel
would-
comics? The guy with the big hands. Part of the. No.
Come on, let's focus. Back to news.
Is that-
So,
is that-
this
We'll come
is
back to that.
next in the news.
Isn't that-
This is
I thought it was Iron Fist.
Shut up. Legend scale Flame Walker, which is Hot Rod, if you can't tell. So, a tiny, whiny Hot Rod from Mech Fanstoys. There's some accessories. Jamie doesn't like him. I think I agree.
yeah,
No,
it's-
I'd like. He might be nice. He might be nice in hand. Can't see
I doubt it.
Well,
I doubt it.
that chest. The image.
Maybe if you're blind and deaf.
you missed a positivity tonight, Jamie. You really are.
It just. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Keep going.
Rodimus isn't great.
No,
though.
it's
Rodimus
alright.
isn't that great. Rodimus isn't
think
great, but it's
it's
better.
the flame.
It's better than Rodimus.
The yellow.
Yeah,
bit
the
of
flame doesn't
transfer.
look-
It just
yeah.
looks odd. So hopefully they get rid of that. Update it. It's got the shades. It's probably a different head, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it gets the visor.
Yeah, it's probably
Oh, is
not
that an angry face?
flipped down. I reckon it just swaps over the head.
They
Yeah.
managed to give him a visor and make him not look cool. That's difficult to do. You know?
That's another
Hats
photo.
off to
And
them.
then we've got a photo of the only other. So this is Papa Toys Hot Rod to compare. He's a really nice. That's not a great photo of him actually, but that flame looks a million times better, doesn't it, than
Yeah.
the Mech Fanstoys one. So and the reds are a lot nicer.
So there you go. Pick it
There
up,
you go.
people. Do we know when that's coming out? Is that or has that not been announced yet?
No, it's
Is
just
that
been
so we
shown
can
on-
later.
avoid it that day?
It's coming out later.
Well,
Move on.
rush out and get it pre-ordered when you can, unless you don't want to, because it could be pish.
Because you would taste.
And then this is
Excuse me.
part of our caption competition. If you can guess what it is, write to us in a postcard, PO Box 1212, Transformers a Show.
It's Megatron.
I don't spoil it for everyone.
You have to put it on a postcard. You have to send it. Were you not listening? Armada Megatron, except it's who's making this again? My mind's gone blank.
Fans Hobby.
Fans Hobby.
That's it. Fans Hobby. And just some close-ups of parts of the toy.
Did you not get the big shots, the ones which were zoomed out this week?
You didn't send them, so no.
Well, no, because we've seen it all the time. So.
Oh, we can always look at it again. Don't think that Star Saber's not coming on here nearly weekly. You better get used to that. It's going to be another King of Galvatron.
Really? Oh my god.
Really. It's like one of your pickups. It'll be on every week. And then for some reason, Generations... is it Generation Toys? Defensor? Why is that here, Alexis?
Is it Yes Model? Or...
So this is like, because I think the main Protector Bot hotspot is about to drop. And people have been waiting 2.5 years for this whole set to be released. So finally happening for this whole bot. So that's it. Then
have we seen that before? Though? The actual combined mode.
Probably. Maybe it was Digibash. I think it was grey before. I don't think we've seen it in colour potentially. Yeah, it's all right. It's about 15.5 inches, so it's chuggish.
All right. Next.
I think it looks all right actually. It looks good in that photo, but then again, the photo makes it look good.
It's just titchy. And then we've got X-Transpots, Zoosaurus, which is their Deathsaurus, which comes with every head sculpt of the week.
Which mood are you today?
Exactly that.
All the flavors.
He comes with comes with his fly mode. Wait, does he?
Where he can levitate. It's a levitating
drone.
That's it. Almost as if he jumped. And then he's Soundwave-esque. He has beasts which form part of his chest, which jump out. So which are quite cool.
Do they jump out? Or do you
I don't know.
Make that happen?
I don't know. I'm going to be getting the MMC version, so it doesn't really matter. Move on. And there they are again. The little beast. It always looks really good. Just transformation X Transpots. I might as well chew my own arm off. Be easier. There he is in his robot chicken mode. So I don't know how tall this guy is actually. And then this is from the opening scene of Victory. So this will go nicely if you're Star Saber, if you're guessing Star Saber. So it's quite resonant that they brought this out actually. But you get Planet X as well, which is already out, which is quite small. So actually, Planet X actually would scale quite well with Chug because it's actually a smaller scale Planet X.
That is right. It needs more leather. It needs.
Yeah.
I was just going to say.
And then
this needs more leather.
Correct. Or more lava.
And then MMC and this for
Some Venom Cream as well.
MP scale. So if you've got Ions Trans or Cadmus, then this would probably be. No, sorry. Cadmus is a good example. Cadmus is 15. Is the starter, which is from Planet X. It's 15 inches. It's a bit small. It's quite chuggy. It goes well with the MMC stuff, like Lost Light. So Planet X would be a good version to go with the Star Saber coming out from Haslab. This would be a good version for your Masterpiece collection. Or MMC.
For all you chuggers out there.
Chug. Cool.
Chugging away.
Chug.
Chugging yourself stupid.
Oh, dear.
Right.
I'm going to get nightmares. I'm going to seriously just like...
Jeremy
He's lying.
Clarkson
That's gone straight in the bank.
Oh,
as
my
a
God.
lesbian.
Oh, my God.
So, right. Moving on then. Is that everything for news?
That was all the news that we have.
Okay. Right, on to the best bit of the show then. It's time for Fanstoys Innuendo. We got a special one. I hope you're watching. Right, let's go.
I was going to say, I thought you meant Rohan. Oh, right. Wow, this guy is so slick, not too chunky, lol, and so sexy to the eyes.
All of it is so true. Unbelievably true. I think this is Arrowfire, isn't it? I know it is Arrowfire because I went to his Facebook profile picture
Fans
and
Toys.
took him. No, I know. Look, I've moved on.
What's going on?
Masterpiece.
The universe doesn't make sense anymore.
So you three have to guess who's and it is a Fanstoys robot underneath.
Nobody
this
cares.
beautiful man's
stare
face.
into Ian's
Yeah,
Don't stare too long. Avert your eyes.
Wait a minute.
We'll all drown.
Is it actually going to be...
You don't
Is
turn
it
to
Dive
stone.
Bomb?
No,
You turn to
Dive
leather.
Bomb.
Is it actually going to be
It's a
Fanstoys or random bot like you always do? Is it actually
It's
going to
like,
be
it is Fanstoys.
Is that a
Sure.
Terracoin?
He's like a meaty Medusa. If you stare at him,
yeah.
you turn into leather.
Sovereign then? Sovereign then it'll be.
What is this?
Oh. So slick, not too chunky, and so sexy to the eyes.
Right.
Sovereign. Galvatron, or it'll be Quietus.
Oh, why do you think that?
Quietus again.
Because everyone
any
complained about.
excuse to get it on the
Is
show.
it
Everyone
just
complained
all
about
me and
X-Men.
Ian talk about? Ba, ba, ba. It is. It's Fanstoys Cyclonus Quietus. Well done. That
Oh,
was
I never expected that appeing on the show again.
Yeah.
After one
You haven't seen
No.
Later on, we're doing our top 5
talking about Ian.
Fanstoys Quietus. Which would be good to watch. Right.
We now return to the Transformers.
I do love the discussion on pickups.
Hi, Andy. What did you get this week?
Hi, Paul. Thanks for asking. I got the joy that is Kingdom Tracks.
Ooh.
And let's not
Is
talk
it-
about that.
Is it a joy? Is it a joy?
No, not really. He's up there with RC for just basically being just such a disappointment. But I kind of knew it coming into it because I've seen enough from other people who have had the figure to know that there was going to be problems. It looks lovely. If you can just stick it on a shelf and have it there as tracks standing there, fine. But don't touch it. Don't transform it, for God's sake. Just leave it alone.
Yes.
That's basically
sounds
my
like it.
advice on it. Or give it away for free, like Paul did last week. Just chuck it out the door because it's not. It's not.
I did.
That sounds very much
Gave
like
it
a
away for
Transformers.
free.
Yeah, because we barracked you for it. We were saying,
same day I
no,
bought
don't
it.
give it away for free. Just say sorry. Don't give him a bloody figure.
Exactly. You've just,
Anyway,
you've
to
just-
whoever that
you've
was who bought it, well done. Congratulations. It's like punishment, actually.
Oh.
And then
It
the
is.
other thing I picked up, finally,
just paid them.
was Exitus IDW Getaway from
Oh,
MMC.
wow.
And he is lovely. It is the same mold as. Let's pick him up. It is the same mold as Calidus. There we go. And they do both look very good. They look very nice next to each other, and they do. That's why I'm having them next to each other. Kind of. When I've got to sort out my display a bit because it's my display's become really jumbled recently, and I need to get in there and properly sort it out. But anyway, they're going in there together, and they look fantastic. It's not. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a perfect figure. I mean, it's based on a mold that's quite old. So you notice that the articulation isn't necessarily as good as some of the more recent MMC figures. And mine actually has a slightly gammy rocker on the ankle tilt down here, so it doesn't necessarily turn as easily as it should, which I'm not going to force it too much. I'm not really not fussed about his alt mode. I've transformed him once, looked at it, went, that's fine, and back into his robot mode where he's going to live for most of his life. And yes, I know for all those people who hate Getaway from IDW because he's a bastard and all the rest of it. Yes, I know. But it's
for
Getaway.
purists, we don't care about IDW.
Exactly. I mean, this could easily be my Chug, G1 Getaway. I loved Getaway from the old comics, and I've got the old toy of it as well, the G1 toy, and it's just nice to have it finally. Because bless Kapow. Kapow were fantastic, to be fair to them, but it did take a long time for him to get here in the UK because of apparently delays from MMC. See, I'm kind of big now, so I can show him off a bit more. There you go. And he is lovely. I do like the shoulders. I like the fact you've got the option, if you want to, you can have them down. These kind of door wings, as they always reminded me of from his G1 figure. And even his little gun, I like everything about it. The head sculpt is really on point. If you can get hold of one, if you're a fan of the character, I definitely recommend getting one. But it's just it seems to be a bit of a bugger to pick up. But mine arrived, so yay! That's it. That's me done. I think it's Jamie next. Just get this funny feeling.
You.
Hang on. I'll get my questions ready.
Jamie, tell us, what did you get this week, sir? I'm ready to share.
Okay, so this week I got a couple of characters actually. Start off, I got Scorpion from Beast Wars. And Scorpion was a bit of a surprise. I don't know if it's because there's a major depression after having tracks. But yes, Scorpion definitely cheered me up. He's quite diminutive in structure. He's quite small and tiny. But he sure as hell transforms into, a big scorpion, which is quite surprising. It's almost like Scorpionox, when you transform Scorpionox, he appears bigger in the Scorpion mode. But yeah, he's a lovely little wee character. You know, I'm thinking of getting the add-ons, which could make him a bit taller, but then I'm not really sure because that would take away from the character of the toy for me. But I do quite like him, a stunty little wee dwarven character. It does appear like the Predacons are getting smaller every time, though.
Is his name Scorpion or Scorponok? I thought it was
Scorponok.
Scorponok. Ah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
He said Scorpion before. Then I suddenly thought, oh Christ, is his name actually Scorpion? I've been calling him by the name.
Scorpion. Yeah,
Right.
no. That's
what threw me.
Like Truck Monkey.
Truck Monkey. Oh, we love Truck Monkey.
But he's a fantastic, bright colours, and it's a fun transformation. It's clever, but not too clever. I mean, they could have made it taller if if they did what they did with Cyclonus, extended things out, tube fed in the side of tube, etc. But they didn't. So there we've got our Scorpionox, well, our Scorpion even, and that is fun. It's a lot of baggage underneath, but you're not going to be picking up and looking underneath and under its carriage all the time, are you? But yeah, it's an excellent little figure and good fun. And as I said before, he's quite a small Predacon, quite a small deluxe character. But he is fun, and his Scorpion mode is quite big. So yeah, that's quite an enjoyable thing to have. Another one was Tracks. That's literally the only real photo I took of Tracks. Because anytime I touched him, he would fall apart, like porcelain. He was just ready to explode, like girlfriends with me on a Saturday night. But yeah, he's good.
I think Rudy gave me that.
He's just very tiny. I don't know. When I imagine Tracks, I think of someone being a lot bigger and taller, especially Road Rage. That character's coming out there. She's meant to be quite tall and big, and yet she's going to come out as like a midget. So I think people are a bit disappointed with Road Rage, but it does look good, in a shelf. I mean, the original Tracks isn't much better, bigger, but at least you could transform that Tracks, and at least you could have fun. Where this thing has got a lot of painted plastic in its carriage, you just don't want to transform it because it will break. There they are all together, but yeah, it wasn't my favourite. My Tracks has actually got damage on the side of his head, so it's bloody annoying. At least if you didn't have the damage, it would be okay. But I can only really take photos from one side. Or take it a highlight, just so the lightness disappears.
Was that
no, that was the Tracks. I haven't had sex with Tracks. I don't have sex with my Transformers, Alexis. It's not like you. There's a line I would just won't cross. I got this battle set. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Sidestripe's cool, very white. It looks like it's painted on white, it's plastic. But yeah, it's very white, very fun character. And there's a character I got today, but I'm going to be taking some proper photos and share my views on Deathhead and Anubis, MMMC and Anubis next week. But I had a lot of fun. I actually got them on Thursday, but I had a lot of work on. I wasn't going to touch them. And then at 11 o'clock, I thought, I said, I'll open it, have a good look at it. 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd finished playing around with them, and I was absolutely knackered. And I was like, oh no, I've got work the next day. I'm so fucked. But yeah, he was excellent fun. But I'll be talking about him next week. Cheers.
I love that.
So many appendages, doesn't he? Like you can behind, like he carries behind him, doesn't he? Like in the comics for his arm.
But I'll talk.
Sorry.
There
Right.
were some
What
good
did you
pickups, though,
get? Yeah, great. That photos. I think my favourite one you've done so far. They're all good, but you you spoil us with your photography. You spoil us with your pickups, Alexis. What did you get?
So no first time. I'm going to follow that photograph. I will follow with boxes instead. So Paul, get your tissues ready. The first thing I got.
Always are.
I got a little bit of Ace Hitter. And this is tissue time box. This is from Fans Hobby. A bit of box art there. Everyone loves a bit of box art.
It's funny to me because before the show you were an ace shitter. There you go.
There we go. And where's the trombone? Where's the trombone? I bought that from. I got it from.
You missed
someone asked me. Someone actually asked me to test out Fans. Brilliant. Far too late. Comical timing as ever, Paul. Someone
I
asked
don't know. It
me
worked
to
for me.
I just want to say
Well,
thanks to Will Quits for the nice comments. Cheers, and other people for your nice comments.
someone asked me to test out Fans Hobby because apparently Make Toys was a company you could buy from directly. So maketoys.jp was their website. I don't think it's up anymore. If you can't find it, it used to be maketoys.jp/shop. You can go directly to it if it didn't come up. Fans Hobby have a similar setup, which is quite good. So you can buy Fans Hobby robots directly from them. They have things in stock. And I didn't realize this the first time I bought it, and I'll just make sure I hide the coupon so no one spends my coupon. But they've actually they send you out coupons. So I've got a $10 off when I spend $100. I've got 15% off when I spend $250. So it's not bad. Little incentive there when you buy from Fans Hobby. So that's the first thing. I then got from the wonderful Simon, who was selling everything that day, everything right rail. I think Jamie got his Anubis from as well. I got Trash Talk and Cogwheel. And Trash Talk and Cogwheel is the IDW Gears and Swerve. So been looking at this for a while, trying to build up my little Lost Light shelf, which is going to go over here somewhere you can't see on the camera, which at the moment the Seacons are invaded with Whirl because haven't sorted everything out. Boxes everywhere, still getting there. But got these two. Love it with a box art again. So I'll get these out next week. I'll probably do a little scene. I'll do the same with Ace Hitter as well. Get some photographs going for next week. And then the last thing I got today, which is my very first purchase from AliExpress. I must say, first purchase, actually very good experience, quite good. Cheaper than most places, and tracking details straight away. You pay VAT on the arrival, so you know what you're getting. So it was all right, actually. I got... This is not for the purists, by the way. So, Jamie, divert your eyes and ears. This is... What was that? What was that? What was that? What the fuck is that? Horse cream? What the hell was that? Viagra, sorry. Horse Viagra. I got the upgrade kits for Scorponok. So it's his legs and his turrets and his you flash it up. I keep missing it. Legs to turret.
Deliberate.
What?
So,
one of you. Sorry,
I like the gun one. I think the gun one is quite good.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the gun one.
They look awesome.
Yeah.
I think I paid about 40-50 quid each for them.
Where did you get it from?
This was from AliExpress. Because I thought I bought them from a different shop and I didn't, and then when I went back on, price had gone up and I was like, oh. So I had a look around. I was a little bit disappointed, but I found them again. And I've pre-ordered the other one from Omega Lock, which is the height extender. Because obviously, I think you can see from Annie's photo, if Annie just leans to the left a little bit, you can see that Fort Max is ever so slightly left. Thank you. Is ever so slightly taller than Scorponok. So that will make Scorponok the same height as Fort Max with the extra bits. And if I like these kits, I'm then going to look at. I still can't read it. I can't read that fast. I just see a picture of a horse.
Oh dear.
Right. Anyway, so if I like that, I'm probably going to hunt down the. So they did a DNA kit for Fort Max, which was like the sort of the feet, the ankle rockers, and then posable hands. They've recently released the gun for Fort Max. I'm not too fussed about the gun, but the hands look quite good. I've always wondered, could you then use the hands potentially for Titan's Generations Metroplex as well, because they're the same mold potentially. I don't know if you could use the ankle rockers. I think it's different feet, but again, you could paint them potentially, and that will work. So, so they're my picks this week. No photographs. I'll do some photographs of these when Jamie doesn't do photographs, and that way I can be proud about myself.
Cool.
Excellent. Oh, it's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you don't need to wait for the Jamie not to do photographs.
Yeah.
I'm only jesting. I didn't have time today. I literally got these in the last couple of days because I've sold.
You were in the toilet for hours. I'm not surprised.
15 minutes before the show.
Those who see me on the groups have realised. I think I've sold like 10 Transformers in the last 24 hours.
You have several times in some cases.
So I sold my Metroplex, so thumbs up there. Sold most of the things I was flogging up last week. So people who want to buy some stuff, I'll be online a bit later. So.
Thumbs down, do something sexy, guys.
No, do you know what I had? Really unlucky. I was going to buy R44 Tortor from Kapow because I wanted to complete the team, and the Kapow are sold out. Like they
Oh.
literally had them all year. They're sold out, and then I find out he's on the eBay site for Kapow, so now he's even £15 more, and it's like, oh god.
Sorry, which one was that again?
R44, the big ugly one, which I don't
Purple
actually
one.
like.
Purple one. He's the best.
No,
He's
not the
he's
purple
best.
one. He's good.
Oh.
The purple one's good. It's the cream coloured one. Is it?
Is it Helix? The
Yes.
Yeah.
blades in
The
the
X-
stomach,
the X-
chest.
basically.
Yeah, because I thought I should get him to complete the team, and I refused to get the two smaller ones, the dog and the little. I don't know what it looks like. Scooter from the GoBots. I don't know what that's called, but
She's a mechanic, isn't she? She keeps them all fresh.
yeah,
Sort of like control. She's their tactician.
keeps
I
the
think,
killers and murderer, genocidal maniacs nice and fresh and keen.
That's it.
She's like
I don't
Disney.
know. I don't know what that horse
Everyone-
scream is. It's something to do with Donald Trump, who's a bit more.
Everyone needs a mani.
So-
Everyone needs a
Don't know.
mani pedi now and then, mate.
Right, come
Everyone
on,
needs
we're
a
on
mani-pedi.
pickups, not mother's meeting. Right, I got this guy. So Sheridan. So I've been after him for a while.
From Big
He's
Bang
glorious from Big Bang Theory. There he is. I love a good warpath, and I haven't transformed him yet because I've been at work. But
How's
so
his
weighty.
knees? How's his
Got
knees?
good kneeage. Good kneeage.
His knees were
Great
quite
knees.
stiff on mine. If you remember mine, they almost. you
I
had to
remember
loosen
how
up a
stiff
little
yours
bit.
was. Yeah, I do.
I had to let it rest.
Rigid.
Let it rest. I let it rest for a while. You know, let the air soak in, and that loosened up.
We
So
were all drenched that night.
No, it's got the issue. So there is a QC issue where the leg on some of them don't go all the way back. Oh, is it that one? Anyway, oh, it's that one. Doesn't quite go all the way back. He has got that issue, but he was a good price. So, and the seller said that he had the issue, so I was okay with him. I'm not going to break him, Mick. Mick said don't break him because I've destroyed bad cubes.
are you gonna go? hard
During your review. Oh god.
Are you
yeah,
gonna?
I forgot about that.
Are you gonna hop amp for him on camera?
Yeah, defo. I will. I wouldn't ever use instructions. And then Spindrift. So I got Fanstoys Spindrift because I saw him up for cheap. And yeah,
Very
really
good.
hard pan for him. He was quite easy. And good. Oh, what a lovely.
And easy hard pan for.
If you want an X Transbots Neptune pool, which is a upgraded Spindrift, I'll give it to you for a good price.
Okay, thanks, mate. Cheers, bro. That's it for my pickups, which means it's time for Rohan. Rohan.
Thank you guys. Welcome to the show. Do you ever wonder what if? I saw a couple of posts this week on TFUK, and it's not new. People have been wondering what if in the Transformers lore and Transformers fandom for generations, and it's all to do with what if Hot Rod hadn't gotten in Prime's way? What if Megatron wasn't reformatted by Unicron? What if Galvatron wasn't the deranged mental case he was? What if some of those Beast Wars characters like Pterosaur and Scorponok hadn't died at the end of season 1? What if Hasbro actually gave us some good toys and actually didn't have QC issues? I jest. But one of the things that these what ifs started me thinking about was, well, what if we didn't have combiners?
Now unite!
What if Devastator and the Constructicons weren't the very first combiner that we got? And I've done a couple of episodes on combiners in the past. Menasor, my favourite. Bruticus, because I like the attack basis, aggressive combat modes of their alt modes. But the very first combiner we got was obviously none other than the Constructicons. And they are a lot of people's favourites. Here I have the Magic Square Set A, which has just come out. Scrapper and Mixmaster.
Constructicons, transform! Phase 1!
Otherwise known as Shovel Master and Roller Master. But anywho, why do people love these characters so much? I mean, first and foremost, they had great voice actors in the series. Secondly, they had some great colour schemes and, I guess, construction vehicles. This was the first time we saw any real construction vehicles, with the exception of Hauler in Generation 1's cartoon or even in the toy line. We didn't have the other vehicles like the grapples and the hoists that came later in the series and obviously got entangled with these guys in terms of their characters and what they were doing. Later on, as the toys continued to come out, we got other construction type vehicles, even the likes of the auto rollers transforming by themselves. I got them upstairs somewhere, can't remember where. So on and so forth. And construction vehicles then became almost part and parcel of Transformers lore, and we saw them again in further series. RID had, thanks Mr. Ice Cream Man, again.
Devastator says your end is near.
RID had obviously the combining Autobot team of construction vehicles, and then further into Transformers Animated, where we had the resurgence of the actual Constructicons as Decepticons, albeit not as a combiner and just as a couple of characters, but in their original colour scheme and their original kind of mentalities. And not only do we like the fact that the Constructicons are construction vehicles, they had cool voice actors, they had decent kind of characters, and some of them were all kind of different in some way, shape or form. Obviously, Scrapper was the scrappy kind of leader, always doing as Megatron asked and getting the job done. We had Mixmaster with his confumbled ideas and that sort of stammer in his wording as well, who was a great character. I really enjoyed Hook, the well-spoken British kind of sounding do-to-well kind of character. Long Haul, who was always complaining, is always a good favourite of mine. Brought some similarities with Coptor. And yeah, Bone Crusher and Scavenger, and I think they got less airtime, if I'm honest with you, in the series, and as a result they didn't get as much definition in their characters, and even leading to the case that we had some animation errors and some voice acting errors as usual in Generation 1 with those characters. Anywho, I really like the fact that the Constructicons being the first combiner team in Transformers meant that they had 6 figures that combined together, and actually the original G1 toys were actually not too disparate in size to these Legends class figures these days in terms of robot size and in terms of combined size. And you know, it was a testament to the fact that they moved past that further on in the series by doing 5 bots that combined into one, because these were well engineered in the sense that they had to really eke out where all the bots would go and how they would combine together. And of course, who can forget their memorable part in the movie when they tried to make a play for leadership of the Decepticons. Not the first time, mind you. Triple Takeover, they had ambitions there as well. And although there was a lot of unsureness about how they came about with different ideas as to whether or not they were going to be reprogrammed by Megatron, or had actually been built by Megatron, or had actually just turned up in season 1, who knows. At least they gave the Dinobots a bit more backstory, hey. And then there's Devastator.
Devastator says, surrender or perish.
Now, he may not have been one of the smartest Decepticons as we've seen in the core and other episodes, but he had that brute force and he was imposing, and we saw great scenes with him in the movie where he's fighting the Dinobots, and obviously where he makes that play for the leadership as well. And yeah, I really enjoyed the Constructicons. What do you all think? Should we have a new incarnation of the Constructicons? I have myself of the Combiner Wars Titan class figure set. Obviously the Combiners are making a new play, coming back into the Legacy toy line, with the Stunticons being the first set. Are we going to see the Constructicons come back, and how would they do that? Because obviously it looks like with Menasor they're going to do the limbs as deluxes, and then the main body Motormaster leader as almost like a Commander class toy. So what are we going to see with these guys? Because obviously there's no real guys for a Commander class here. Are we going to get them all as a set, or 2 sets as Commander class toys? That would be cool. Let us know what you think. For another week, I've been Rohan on Rohan's Corner. Catch you next week.
Hey boys, we've been rumbled. Well, let's bounce.
Black. Oh, we're back.
Black.
Hello,
Black like the
darkness,
night.
my old friend. How you doing? All right?
Rohan
Yeah,
has
thanks,
the
Paul.
facial hair of a god. Every time I look at those photos of him in that last bit, there's so many styles.
He is. Absolute legend. Rohan, thank you so much for that. That was awesome. Right, what's next? So we're finishing off with our chatty chat.
Chatty chat.
unless I've missed anything. So
have we done everything else? Oh, we're whizzing through this week. No wonder we've got 6 dislikes.
I don't think it's because we're going too quick.
It's
right.
because we're attractive guys. People are just jealous.
I'm just trying to figure out how many other halves we have. Rohan included.
We have. You count their mistresses as well.
Yeah. Well, for the 6 dislikes, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right, discussion time.
We now return to the Transformers.
So tonight we're going to talk about, as it's our 86th episode, we're going to talk about the 1986 film and our top 5 characters from the 1986 Transformers film. I'm going to go first. So my top, well, I can add a little bit of vig to show you. So this is Polinox. So Polinox, one of the blue Transformers, and Rico, one of the red Transformers shown here. That's Polinox in the blue. That's them dying. They're 2 of my favourite characters.
I thought you said that was your favourite scene. Wow. Yeah.
I used to like watching it die as a kid. That used to be.
Is that what they're called then? Have they actually been given names by the fandom, or do they officially have names?
Whole backstory, and MMC released 2 of the figures.
Families.
They did.
They were 3 days away from retirement. God damn it!
I'll finish my 3 quickly. So then afterwards it was I used to love obviously Blur, the guy who can't remember his name, the one who voice acted him. I thought it was so funny that he spoke so quickly and so fitted his character, and it was better than just a lot of G1 stuff. It was just, it wasn't Scatman.
What was his name? Because was it Scatman Crothers?
Famous for doing.
He's the Micro Machines man as well. Did that? Yeah, I might be completely wrong. I might just think of Scatman the song.
Yeah, looks like
G1.
Oh no, Scatman Crothers was Jazz, wasn't it?
The Scatman.
Who did the?
It wasn't that song, was it? Different Scatman.
Oh, my older brother used to love that song. He used to play it on repeat, drive me mad. Anyway, was that your number 3?
Yes. So Blur was number 3. Then number 2 was Springer, and I think it was Springer because of the toy. I used to spend ages looking at the toy advert. I couldn't wrap my head around how we transformed from a helicopter to a robot to a weird car. So I never got him as a kid until much later. So yeah, Springer. And then finally it's got to be Hot Rod in it, because he was my hero as a kid. And I definitely didn't think that he did kill Optimus Prime. And yeah, grew up as a massive Hot Rod fan. Optimus Prime I had as a G1 toy, but I would have been about 5 or 6. And when you're entering that age and he dies.
Blur was
voiced by John Machita Jr.
Machita, yeah.
Put it in the comments too.
There you go. Well,
Dropping knowledge bomb on us.
I didn't want to cheat. I worked out my own.
Well done.
Well done, Ed. Well done, Ed. Bumble Jumper. And anybody else who worked out.
Hot Rod was my number 1 1986 film character. Gents, tell me yours. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next.
Go.
I don't know why I decided to wave at you for that, just to get your attention, I suppose. Let me just share. I won't share for long. But
I know we one Kenobi moment.
Share.
There's no Transformer fans here. No.
Hang on. Why are you freezing up? Right, I've got that Scatman song stuck in my head now. Lots of happy memories. Right, here we go. So, apologies for the first photo. It was really hard to find a decent sized photo of the transformation part. I found lots of fan art of the transformation part from Transformers the movie, but finding an actual decent size photo, see, it goes small again. But Cyclonus is in my top 5. My top 5 is a bit sketchy because it might not necessarily be in an order. It's just the 5 that I really liked. So yeah, Cyclonus, which is weird because he doesn't really do anything. I don't think he has a line in the whole film. I used to think he did. I used to think that when Ultra Magnus shot at Galvatron when he was in Cyclonus, that Cyclonus was the one who said Autobot scrap or something like that. Well, shall I gut him is Scourge, because he flies alongside and he says that, and then Galvatron says, no, Magnus is not, you have the other Autobots, or whatever the line is exactly. And I thought Cyclonus said the first line, but apparently he doesn't. I don't know. But anyway, obviously Skywarp. And I loved the toy. Was one of the first movie toys I got as a kid. I loved the design of him in the film. And he was part of one of my favorite scenes. Again, the picture's not the best, but when he attacks the shuttle, they've tried launching lots of missiles. It hasn't gone well, so they just go, Cyclonus just go out there and blow the crap out of it. And when he jumps out of the is it Vengeance or the Revenge rather? And he jumps out and he transforms and then flies off. I absolutely love that scene. And I love the design of him. There he goes. Bit small, but anyway. So yeah, Cyclonus. And then, oh my God, why are these pics so small? I've got Alexis disease tonight.
Alexis disease.
Galvatron. I've contracted it. It was only a matter of time. Galvatron, because he's just mad as a box of frauds. But in this, voiced by Leonard Nimoy, to me, that is the absolute pinnacle of Galvatron. He was powerful and strong, but the voice that Nimoy gave him, it was just, I loved Galvatron. And I always thought he was a massive step up from Megatron, not just because he was supposed to be, but because I just thought the design of him, I thought he just looked powerful and he was mad as a box of frogs, as I say. That scene when he destroys Starscream is another one of my favorites from the movie. I mean, arguably every single scene from Transformers the movie is one of my favorites, but that one when he comes in and Starscream says, "Megatron, is that you?" And he says, "Here's a hint," and transforms and blows into hell. Spoiler alert. Is just, it's just absolutely awesome. Oh my God, it's happened again. Anyway, and then of course he chokes Hot Rod. And I want to make this point now. He beat Hot Rod. Hot Rod was whipped until Hot Rod cheated because he had the Matrix. You take the Matrix out, there's like a power up. It's like in Mario becomes Super Mario. Exactly, but I love that. I love the fact he choked him and he was choking as if he couldn't breathe.
I'm a man of science, Andy. I just got to say that.
But you're also a purist. Are you criticizing the movie? Now I've got you on the ropes. Anyway, Galvatron. And next is, of course, Snarl. Now, it really annoyed me because Snarl was my favorite Dinobot, and it really annoyed me that he was in the movie, but he wasn't in the movie because he is there, but he doesn't. He's in there for like literally about 3 frames of the film, and that really bugged me. So I decided tonight, screw it, I'm sticking him in there. So Snarl as oh look, he's done it again.
It's amazing how you found a bigger picture of
scenes.
Snarl there than you did of any other character in any of them seen. But the biggest picture you found tonight was a Snarl.
Yeah, but that's it. This is why it's annoying me. God damn you, Google Images. But I loved Snarl and the fact that he is in there, even though he does nothing. I like to think he stayed safe and he was perfectly fine. Oh my God, what's happened to Unicron? Unicron is in there as well. How can you not have Unicron in there as one of the greatest characters from Transformers the movie? He's the ultimate bad guy. He is a planet-eating, world-devouring, devil-type character who comes and should destroy Cybertron. He's what, sir?
Misunderstood.
Oh, misunderstood. I thought you said he was your son. For a second. He's my son. What? Bombshell.
Chamomile
who obviously didn't become Cyclone.
Lavender soak pillow. He'd be all right. 5 minutes of that, he'd be fine. Double bath.
He just needs a nice herbal tea and take a sit down. But he was fantastic. He was just a fantastic bad guy. And watching him destroy Lithone in the movie, I still remember that opening scene, and it was just. We discussed it before the show. I sat as a kid and was just agape watching this planet devouring another planet, and it was quite brutal because he kills everyone. But yeah, what a great start to the movie it was.
My boys are still scared watching it. They still get scared watching like the movie. Like they go, "Daddy, I don't watch the movie. People die." Like you don't mind watching the actual series because no one dies. They watch the movie. You go, "Daddy, I don't like it. They die."
My kids were never particularly bothered. I remember showing Liam, who's my oldest, many years ago. Showed him the film the first time, thinking, "Oh, you'll love this," and he got bored after about 15 minutes and stopped watching, and that really annoyed me. But then he sat down himself and watched it himself one day when I wasn't there. And he watched the whole thing through. And from that point forward, he was hooked on Transformers. So Transformers, the movie, did that. From that, he then really got into... I mean, he used to be... Liam's knowledge of Transformers was encyclopedic. It was like, he'd have put RJ to shame. Anyway, Wreck-Gar is my final choice. I just loved Wreck-Gar. I loved Eric Idle. the character just made me laugh. I liked the fact he, again, a bit like Soundwave, he had a really individual way of talking. I had the toy again as a child, which of course does help, even though the toy didn't look a hell of a lot like the actual character in the film, but enough. And another reason why I'm looking forward so much to the new figure of him. I think he's going to be absolutely fantastic. I certainly hope he is anyway. But yeah, Wreck-Gar would be my final choice. Eric Idle, what more could you ask for? And yeah, that's me. I should now stop sharing my ridiculously small photos and go and kick Google in the face.
Cheers, mate.
That's a rational way to deal with
it. Jamie, before we get into the Pandora's box of whatever Alexis's top 5 is, would you like to go next?
Yes. My top 5 from Transformers the movie is I would start off with Megatron. You know, with the way Megatron, you know, I fought that Prime, Optimus Prime, that iconic battle where he won against Optimus Prime, failing squarely with help from Hot Rod, is maybe one of the most iconic battle scenes in cinema history. And the classic lines. And I still remember as a kid when Starscream, you know, opened that door in the astral train and chucked Megatron out, and Megatron's going, wait, I still function. And Starscream's won a bet. You know, I still remember crying there, you know, as Megatron's floating through space, you know, sentenced to oblivion. Then he comes across Unicron and he's given a new body and new troops to command, and I was full of joy again. And then that's when you got my next favourite character, Galvatron, who was just like Andy said, voiced by Leonard Nimoy. What a wonderful, strong voice. And what a wonderful, strong character. It was like an upgrade from Megatron in almost every aspect. You know, and he had a crown on his head already. He didn't need one made for him like Starscream did. You know, he came with a crown. You know, born with a silver spoon in his mouth, you're born with a crown. And yeah, he was just amazing. Amazingly evil, amazingly powerful. He got rid of Ultra Magnus in seconds. He would have beaten Hot Rod, his accomplice earlier, and killing Optimus Prime. But, you know, Hot Rod, being the cheating little bastard that he is, you know, used the Matrix, as Andy quickly pointed out, to beat Galvatron unjustly, and throw him out, Unicron.
And Prime.
And you know, my next favourite character has to be Scourge. Scourge, who to me still looks like the love child of a Charles Dickens character who shagged a microwave. And you came out with Scourge, you know, with those hands which look like mittens, you know, that sort of beard and just that sort of flamboyant headdress, you know, and he's sort of the way he's got his wings open up. He's like it's like sort of like almost like oh god, I've forgotten his name. The one who was in charge of them Oliver Twist's little gang of thieves.
Fagin.
Fagin, yeah. It's like it's almost like his torn coat. You know, pieces, you know, so it just reminds me of a sort of Charles Dickens character.
I've got his vision now, Jamie, of
and he was just amazing.
Ding! Microwave gone.
Thanks, Alexis.
I always thought he looked a little bit vampiric, you know, with the cloak thing and the claws, and just something about him.
That's like the original Dracula was kind of Victorian as well, wasn't it? Because when you think about Dracula, it's all very Victorian, but it was really set in London, you know. But yeah, so Scourge was like my next character, was my third choice. My second choice has to be Hot Rod. Hot Rod for being the cunning, manipulative, devious swine that he was, and the way he maneuvered himself into a leadership role, and eventually, you know, well, he also showed his kind of self by being a good medic, saving Cup. He also had some of the best lines, like, we don't have enough energon, or, you know, for all these Sharkticons, but we can give him one heck of a repair bill, you know. And then he had the Demolition Derby song, you know. He just had some of the best scenes, and he was obviously the young sort of Luke Skywalker type character in that film, who was going forward to be inspirational and eventually become the hero of all the Autobots, and that's when he transformed into my favourite character, Rodimus Prime, because when he transformed into Rodimus Prime, it was almost like all his sins were washed away, and this was a new, powerful bot who was able to beat Galvatron within seconds, especially since we'd seen how powerful Galvatron was, you know, and Rodimus basically just slapped him about a couple of bit, and then picked him up and just chucked him out into space. You know, it was over. It was quick. It was like, you know, a flash dance. You know, it was just like, just was nothing there.
It was the roids. Matrix roids.
But yeah, so Rodimus Prime, you know, even though he was there just for a short bit, you know, he says Autobots roll out and Cup's going, you had potential, lad. You know, that old saying, I old fool. Yeah, so that's it. That was my top 5.
Oh, cool. Cheers. A very good top 5 and well articulated. Right, Alexis, what have you done? The top 5 times Hitachi improved Sony TVs?
No.
The top 5 figures that you've bought since 1986.
When we did this, right, it was top 5 top 5 86
characters.
86 movie characters.
We said characters. We agreed characters. It was very clear. We had this discussion last week.
No, I quite like Alexis's what he's decided to do.
We said it wasn't toys.
You know, this reminds me of Alexis. You know, this character, this shagadelic.
No.
Weird colours.
Fucking share.
It just doesn't make any sense. Why?
Go for it.
I can share a window.
Alexis said stop doing the horse picture, so I definitely won't do that.
This is number 5.
Actually, said stop doing the whole shit.
All my pictures are courtesy of IMDb, because that's where you go for movie pictures. So number 5 is Aliens.
Aliens. Why is Aliens?
You've literally just got up IMDb, haven't you?
You've out Alexis.
Alexis. 1986. 1986 there. So,
top 5 films of 1986.
No.
That's how
was that 1986 Aliens? Was it?
So I picked Ripley from Aliens because I really liked her character, and that she grew.
Oh, can we kick him?
She grew as a character, and that she became very motherly. She introduced a transformer in that, which was the walking, talking little lobby thing, which she killed the Queen with. Spoiler alert. That's my number 5.
It was such a simple task.
And then number 4. I've got
Herbie.
Paul's been working hard. He doesn't.
Here we go.
Stress.
Number 4. Share this next one. Number 4, I have got.
Share this next one. I like how you're doing this. When he private messaged me saying, "Stop showing the picture of the horse. It's stupid." And then he's doing this.
It's Aliens.
Number 4, I've got Highlander, because I figured, you know, it was a really good movie for me. Lots of good things there, and they're like Transformers because they live forever. I thought that's really cool. So Highlander was one.
They don't live forever. They get their heads fucking chopped off. Have you not seen the film?
That was really good. I thought that was really cool. So that was my number 4.
Cool.
And then number 3. Where's the sharing screen?
My Little Pony in the movie.
No, it's 86 movies, mate. Number 3 was.
Are you looking for it now?
No. No, it's not that.
Blast it, son!
But I don't have a gun!
It's okay, make it up.
It's actually not this guy. It's Big Trouble Little China, but it's Raiden, because he's a god like Unicron. So Raiden.
From Mortal Kombat. Yep.
So he was underrated in this, but I thought he was really quite good. So Raiden's my number 3, and then how do I stop sharing it? How do I stop sharing? Stop sharing.
Yeah, I can do it. There you go.
There we go. And then number 2.
We've lost Andy.
He just quit the show.
He just went. Yeah.
Number 2 is Ferris Bueller. It comes up. No, it hasn't come up. Oh, no.
You sure? Is this Ferris Bueller?
Highlander had fantastic music. Bumble Jumper. It was a fantastic film.
Exactly. Had great music, and Transformers movie had great music as well.
Correct.
My boys loved the music. So Ferris Bueller was a great character. Mr. Feeney was his arch nemesis in that. I really love that movie. It's a feel-good movie. Still really, really well today. It doesn't date. And then number 1, which I think everyone's gonna totally agree with, is almost a candidate to beat Transformers the movie, shock horror there, which is
Transformers the movie.
Is he still going? Oh, Jesus.
Which is Labyrinth with David Bowie.
Dance, magic dance.
Exactly, dance.
Yeah, but
Magic
that's,
Dance,
that's nothing compared to Transformers the movie. Sorry.
and
not even close.
and if you
I
play,
believe in the babe.
if you play a little
with
bit
the
of
power.
this, if
What
you play a little
power?
bit of this,
Power.
right, then you'll
Power of
understand that.
voodoo.
And I didn't
Voodoo.
realize. I didn't
Do
realize this. Why am I getting?
Remind me of the babe.
Oh,
That's
no,
great,
hang
it's an
on.
advert.
Oh, wrong button. Let me just come out. Oh, yeah, what
What
am
is
I doing?
this?
Oh, get this advert. Oh, get the adverts.
This
Get
is
the
why
advert.
I
Get the
left
advert.
before. What?
That's, all right, it's all right. It's
You
fine.
can
it's
do
fine.
these.
It's cold outside, there's no kind of atmosphere. I'm all alone, more or less. Let me fly far away from here. Far, far, far.
I think I need some of that
What-
horse
what there
tranquilizer.
What the reason is
We need a
very
drugs
loud,
test right
very
now.
loud, very loud, very loud, very loud. Very loud. I don't know if you saw it, but when David Bowie danced in this, he just thrusts his crotch piece everywhere, and I didn't
can you
realize.
remember
That's
that?
like your
Thrust
favourite
his
part.
crotch piece.
I didn't
And that's why
realise it.
you
I
think it's as good as Transformers the movie, because it's the man
Exactly.
thrusting
What's
his
better?
crotch.
No, it's David
He
Bowie
doesn't thrust his crotch piece, but I will
does.
accept. I showed this
I know.
film to a group
He
of
does.
kids in school once. We all watched it. The kids loved it. It was Christmas. They thought it was a fantastic film. And my TA, who was like a 50-something-year-old woman, I can't remember her name now, she just leant over to me. She went, I do like watching David Bowie's cod pieces. You're like, Jesus Christ.
You do see
Don't
his
tell me
crotch
that.
piece
I'm
quite-
showing this to children.
You see it quite a lot in this movie, unfortunately. I didn't realise how much you see David Bowie's.
David
You can't
Batty.
unsee it once you've seen it.
his actual-
David Batty's codpiece.
No Bowie. No Bowie. So it ruined the whole movie for me because every time he was doing dance like this, like, I was like, it's there it's in your face. It's in your face.
You'll be cosplaying that in TFN. You'll be doing that in TFN.
Do you remember
I'd
Transformers
love
the
it if he
show?
cosplayed
Where we
as
used to talk about
the Goblin
Transformers.
King. He just walked around with that big wig.
Has Alexis ever talked about Transformers when it comes to
Oh my
discussions?
Anyway,
Oh my
thank you
God.
for that, Alexis. That was your top 5 at Transformers
There we
movie
go.
characters.
There we go.
All right, please go to Facebook and go to TF UK or Transformers the show. There's 2 groups there. Thank you so much for watching tonight. There's also the bloody Twitter. What's the Twitter, Jamie? Twitter.
TF Show UK. TF Show UK.
Instagram. Cool. Right. See you next week.
Sorry.
Transformers
Me,
the show.
Sorry. Transformers the show. Sorry, it's from John from Redmond. No Top Gun because it was too fucking easy. No Top Gun.
Okay.
He wasn't. He was looking for more pictures of David Bowie's crotch.
There's no need for speed here, lads.
Bye
It's all falling
bye.
down.
Thanks
Well,
for
we are in the
watching.
danger. We are in the danger zone tonight.
Bye-bye.